go to Sam, who's a Man United fan. All right, Sam.
Hello, boys. How are you doing?
All right, Sammy. How are you?
Living the dream, boys. Living the dream.
Good. That's nice. What are you talking about?
I don't know, man. United's a bit of a mess, but I think it's good that we got the coaching, but the club, I think Jason's right. I think the club is very poorly ran. I think every manager comes in with good intentions, especially with, what's known as like our star players. But I also agree with Jamie in the fact that Rashford's head's just never in it. Like, he scored, 40 seconds into Amarim's first game?
Yeah.
And then did absolutely nothing after he scored that goal. You think that would light a fire in someone's belly, but his head's gone. He needs to go.
Well, he's come out and said that he wants to go, really, hasn't he? I mean...
Well, yeah.
Will you be sad to see him leave?
Yeah, because he's been at the club since he was a boy. I've supported United my whole life, and he's been there for most of the football I've watched. Since he came in as Rooney was leaving, and kind of fed into that club. But I think if you think about the players that have come through United with Rashford and that kind of mentality that he's kind of embedded, you think you've had the Lingards, the Pogbas, dancing in the changing rooms after losing 3-0 to City, and games like that. Like that's not Man United. That's not what we should be. And I think having him there now it's too far now. I think he needs to go.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I think the time's right, and it's sad because this parting, it's the blue-eyed boy, or certainly one of them at Manchester United, has been allowed to drift like this into a situation where the best scenario for everyone is if you split.
Mm.
Yeah,
it's like how has that been allowed to happen? How's that? How can you got the highest paid player, a youth academy player, being now the best scenario is for him to leave? That makes he's 27.
I know, but he might as well be 35 if he don't want to run around.
I know, but
if he ain't got a fire in his belly, what Man United meant to do?
I'm not saying he's not to blame.
Dele Alli was a top player, and it was sad to see what happened to him. But if you lose the fire in your belly and the hunger to fight for your team, then
I know, but
who's to blame? Don't blame Man United for everything.
No, I'm not blaming Man United for everything at all. I'm saying Marcus has to take some responsibility for how this has played out.
He needs to take most of the responsibility. It's his career. Ain't Man United's career. It's his career.
Right, his career.
He's going to look back on it and go, could I have done more? Could I have done more at Man United?
Honestly, 2 years... You go back, right, when Marcus Rashford, after the World Cup, right? Can you imagine this scenario happening, right? I'm not saying Marcus is not to blame, and clearly he is responsible for his own future. But I've got to tell you, mate, you're talking about absolutely mismanaged, terrible for Man United, terrible decisions. He is a victim, and there's a number of players. I think Harry Maguire, another one, terrible coaching, terrible.
What do you mean? What are you on about?
Mate, they don't. Okay,
come on, mate. Harry Maguire was never a world-class player.
They paid 90 million for him.
Yeah, I know they did, but that's Man United's. That's a bad signing.
Casemiro, they paid what for? No residual value. The club is a shambles. They're paying what Real Madrid could not believe the money they got. Casemiro cannot believe the money he got, and now you've got a player who's going to walk for free. And that's just one example. Marcus Rashford, to pandy to him and to allow him to... when you come through an academy, right, you're not just making young footballers, you're making young men. They pride themselves now on them being excellent young men, the way you treat people, the way you behave. The football thing is a good thing, and that's the biggest part of it. But you want to make excellent young men. You want to make them have morals. There's what they do at academies now is remarkable. People don't know this, right?
Yeah, okay.
Right? You don't just coach a footballer. You coach it.
Let's not get away from the fact that Marcus Rashford done some amazing things in his time.
And what I'm saying is they've allowed this to happen under their watch. Shameful from United. Shameful. They are.
Sorry, Jake.
Shameful from them.
You can't control someone 24/7.
No, but
he's his own man. He makes his own decisions, and then some of the decisions that he's made haven't been great, especially recently. But at the end of the day, Jace, he's paid to play for Man United. That's what they're paying him for. All right, he's an ambassador for the football club, and they want him to be a good man or whatever that. Yeah, of course, I'm sure he is a lovely, a nice man. But at the end of the day, Jace, his job is to run around for Man United and produce big moments. That's what they're paying him 350 grand a week for, and he ain't done it. So in the end, He's only got himself to blame.
No, I think Manchester United need to look at themselves about what they've done over the last 15 years of this football club, and allow Manchester United, this club, to allow one of the brightest young talents ever for this scenario.
He's just not that great. What thought about that?
Well, don't give him 350 grand a week then.
Well, as you said, they've made bad calls on some of the signings that they've made.
But they're part of the problem.
Yeah,
they're part of the problem. Under Sir Alex, this would never have happened. Never. Under Roy Keane's watch. Look, I criticised him the other day, right? I said he's done nothing wrong when he rocked up to go and watch the Knicks play, right? You and I have done the show.
Yes.
He's done nothing wrong. But for him, he feels it's within his right to rock up wearing a 30... It just doesn't feel right. A new manager turns up. He's wearing a £35,000...
Well, there you go then.
Right, okay.
So who's to blame?
Well,
Man United to blame for him to be in the USA with a 30 grand Louis Vuitton coat on, giving it a big one.
They've had this young man under their watch since he was a kid.
They can't control him, mate.
Fine.
What do you want him to do?
Then take responsibility.
Take responsibility for what?
Sorry, they're his parent. They're his parents.
They're not his parents.
They are.
Man United are not his parents. Man United are a football club, Jason.
Yes.
They're not his parents.
No, but when you have a kid from that young and from his background, and they've literally taken him on, they have. This is what academies do. I'm not having it, mate. No.
Come on, mate.
Jay.
Come on, mate.
They have got to look at what they...
If he wants to get on a jet to America to go and watch an NBA game in a Louis Vuitton outfit and stand there for, wants to be, the star, well, that's fine. But when you get back, you best put 3 goals in the back of the net and run around for your team.
Would Harry Kane have ever done it?
What do you mean?
Don't pretend you don't understand the question. Would Harry Kane have ever done it?
Well, of course he would have, but Harry Kane's a completely different professional.
Right, okay. And Spurs managed Harry Kane.
Oh, no, they didn't. Spurs didn't manage Harry Kane.
Yes,
Harry Kane managed himself.
No.
Because Harry Kane wanted to be the best he could be every single week.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Because he wanted to be the best player he could be.
Manchester United...
And that's the difference between Harry Kane and Marcus Rashford.
Manchester United have mismanaged Marcus Rashford.
Oh, mate.
You won't tell me anything different, mate.
Come on, mate.
Fine.
You are.
Fine.
I can't believe you're even saying that.
No, not saying it. I 100% believe that Manchester United's academy, when it's the passover from the academy to the first team, the managerial turnaround, the way the club has brought players in, being on a huge way, the club is a shambles. And this is what you get when the club's a shambles. This is what you get.
Man United have got one of the best academies in the world. Don't tell me they don't know how to manage players. Right, Marcus Rashford has lost the hunger, he's lost the fight, and he don't want to be at Man United no more.
Let's examine that, right?
Okay, go on.
Right, name the players from Manchester United's academy.
What are you talking about?
Name them.
What, like the class of 92?
Under Sir Alex, keep going.
Right, okay. Mainu.
Right. Just
Rashford.
There you go. You got Rashford too. Mate, think of what you just said.
Okay.
The second person you put out is Rashford.
Scott McTominay.
Okay, good. Right, fine. Name another one.
Right, well, give me a sec.
I know. What I'm saying is, this football club has allowed Marcus Rashford to be the highest paid player in the country, one of them, and they're now letting him go for zit.
Well, they're not going to let him know for. They're not going to let him go for nothing.
Well, try and work that contract out.
Right, we're going to
try and do that.
Get something for him. But don't sit here and tell me you cannot compare Harry Kane to Marcus Rashford just because Tottenham managed him. No, they didn't.
What I'm saying
Tottenham
is,
didn't manage Harry Kane. Harry Kane wanted it himself. Harry Kane wanted it himself.
Fine, and I agree.
And that's why Harry Kane has got everything that he's got because of Harry Kane.
I agree with all that. I agree with all that. But the club have got to take some responsibility for Marcus Rashford being where he is now. To say they've got... Okay, how much percentage do you think they should take? Give me a percentage.
15, 20% maybe. 80% on Marcus.
Okay.
It's your career, Jace. No one else's. It's yours.
Fine.
Your career.
Fine.
End of.
Fine.
You only get one.
Fine.
Your career.
Fine.
You do it how you want to do it. If you want to end up like Dele Alli,
fine.
No problem.
Fine.
But that's where you're going to go. Don't blame Man United.
Fine. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.